A calm apartment. Late at night, someone arrives at your door carrying a beautifully wrapped gift. You pause for a moment before accepting it, because rejecting a gift feels rude, even heartless. But after some time passes, an uncomfortable realization begins to surface: the gift was never truly free. Perhaps it was never meant to be. Manipulation rarely begins with threats or force. More often, it starts with kindness, favors, warmth, and generosity that quietly create a sense of obligation. Psychologists refer to this as the rule of reciprocity, a deeply rooted social instinct that pushes us to return what others give us. When someone offers us help, attention, or gifts, we naturally feel compelled to repay them somehow, whether through loyalty, compliance, or emotional access. For centuries, people have understood how powerful this instinct can be. Some gifts are not acts of genuine care at all, they are calculated investments, and the expected return is your dependence. Today, we explore 5 gifts you should be careful accepting from anybody. Not because generosity is evil, but because hidden intentions always disguise themselves as kindness. The first gift is overwhelming help during periods of vulnerability. Imagine someone entering your life precisely when everything feels unstable, after heartbreak, loneliness, emotional exhaustion, or financial hardship. They become constantly available, offering money, rides, reassurance, and support whenever you need it. At first, it feels comforting and safe. But over time, the dynamic begins to change. Their help slowly transforms into control. They remind you of everything they have done for you. Disagreements suddenly make you feel guilty. Independence begins to feel selfish, almost like betrayal. Psychologists describe this pattern as dependency conditioning. When assistance is repeatedly tied to feelings of indebtedness, people unconsciously begin associating personal freedom with guilt. In toxic relationships, control rarely appears as aggression in the beginning. Studies in social psychology show that people feel especially obligated toward those who help them during emotionally intense moments. The brain stores relief in a way that resembles survival, and survival tends to create strong emotional attachment. This explains why highly controlling individuals often seem unusually generous at first. Their goal is not always your well-being, dependence is simply easier to maintain than equality. The second gift to be cautious of is expensive generosity that far exceeds the level of the relationship. Someone you barely know suddenly offers expensive presents, large sums of money, or opportunities that seem strangely excessive for how little time you've known each other. Even if part of you feels uncomfortable, social conditioning encourages you to ignore the discomfort because questioning generosity can feel ungrateful. Yet oversized gifts frequently create invisible emotional debt. Anthropologists studying ancient cultures discovered that gift-giving was often connected to power and hierarchy, not just kindness. In many societies, the person giving the gift gained influence, while the receiver inherited obligation. The same dynamic still exists today. The larger the favor or gift, the more difficult it becomes to refuse future requests, pressure, or manipulation, especially when the giver subtly reminds you of everything they provided. Healthy generosity feels different. It feels light rather than burdensome. Genuine kindness does not keep score or turn past favors into emotional leverage. Real giving expects nothing in return and never uses memory as a weapon. The third is endless admiration and praise. This often catches people off guard because compliments seem innocent on the surface. But there is an important difference between sincere appreciation and emotional manipulation disguised as admiration. Some people flood others with validation, attention, compliments, and emotional intensity almost immediately. In psychology, this behavior is commonly linked to idealization, often referred to today as love bombing. At first, it feels incredible. It seems as though someone finally understands and values every part of you. They praise your intelligence, your character, your ambitions, and everything that makes you unique. But eventually the admiration becomes less genuine and more strategic. Once someone places you on a pedestal, they gain influence over your fear of falling from it. Without realizing it, you begin adjusting your behavior carefully. You avoid disappointing them. You become emotionally attached not only to the person, but also to the idealized version of yourself they encouraged you to believe in. Research on attachment patterns suggests that inconsistent approval stimulates the brain's reward systems in much the same way gambling does. The unpredictability intensifies emotional dependence. This helps explain why many people remain trapped in relationships that constantly alternate between overwhelming affection and emotional distance. The affection was not unconditional love, it was psychological conditioning. One unsettling reality about human nature is that admiration often controls people more effectively than criticism. Criticism creates defensiveness, but praise lowers caution and weakens emotional boundaries. The fourth gift is secrets. Someone quickly reveals intimate details about their trauma, suffering, family struggles, or painful experiences. Naturally, this makes you feel closer to them. Psychologists describe this as accelerated intimacy. Humans instinctively associate vulnerability with trust. When someone exposes deep emotions, we tend to respond with openness ourselves, creating a sense of closeness much faster than trust would normally develop. However, excessive vulnerability can sometimes be less about genuine connection and more about strategy. When emotional boundaries disappear too quickly, objectivity fades with them. You become emotionally invested before you truly understand who the person is. Research on human bonding shows that rapid emotional disclosure can create a strong illusion of closeness, even between complete strangers. But feeling close to someone is not the same as being safe with them. Healthy trust develops gradually. Manipulative trust pushes for urgency. This reveals an uncomfortable truth about modern relationships. Many people are not truly seeking connection, they are seeking access to your emotions, loyalty, attention, and vulnerability. The fifth gift is an opportunity that slowly isolates you from other people. This may be the most dangerous form of all. Someone offers you something that appears beneficial, a career opportunity, mentorship, financial support, romance, or social advancement. But over time, accepting their offer quietly distances you from your existing relationships. You spend less time with friends, less time with family, and less time with the people who knew you before this individual entered your life. Isolation rarely begins in obvious ways. It starts with exclusivity. Phrases like, "You don't need them anymore," or "No one understands you the way I do," slowly create emotional separation. As outside perspectives disappear, dependence grows stronger. Social psychologists have long observed that isolation makes people far more vulnerable to influence. When alternative viewpoints vanish, judgment weakens significantly. This is why cult leaders, authoritarian systems, and emotionally manipulative individuals often try to disconnect people from independent sources of support. Isolated individuals become easier to reshape, easier to influence, and easier to control. At the core of all five of these gifts lies a timeless psychological truth: people fear rejection more than manipulation. We endure discomfort to avoid seeming rude. We silence our instincts to maintain peace. We accept emotional obligations we never consciously agreed to because refusing them feels socially dangerous. Yet healthy relationships do not punish boundaries, they respect them. A genuine gift leaves you feeling lighter and more independent afterward, not trapped, guilty, or emotionally managed. Philosopher Marcel Mauss once suggested that gifts are never entirely free because they always carry traces of the giver's intention. Perhaps this is why wise people throughout history approached gifts carefully, not with suspicion, but with awareness. Intention matters more than appearances. A controlling person may offer comfort. A manipulative person may shower you with praise. A dangerous person may rescue you precisely when you are most vulnerable. Society rarely warns us about this because generosity is treated as inherently virtuous. We are conditioned to admire giving automatically. But psychology teaches that behavior cannot be judged by appearances alone. The same act can come from love or from a desire for control. Two individuals may offer the exact same gift. One gives it to support your freedom. The other gives it to gain influence over you. The difference only becomes visible after the gift is accepted. Do they respect your independence? Can they tolerate your boundaries? Do they become resentful when you refuse them? Because hidden intentions eventually reveal themselves, not through the act of giving, but through the expectations that follow.